Does adding icons to your designs make them easier to navigate and give your users a better overall experience? Where do you find icons? Which ones should you use? And how on earth do you add them to your Figma design system? In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 options you have for sourcing and adding an icon set to your design system. This will allow you to get up and running super quickly and be able to use a consistent and unified icon set across all of your designs. I bet right now, as you're watching this video, you can see an icon somewhere. In your browser, on your laptop, on your phone, on your tablet, they're everywhere, and for good reason. Icons are the perfect way for us to let a user know what will happen when they take action on a certain button or element in one of our designs. They're also language agnostic, meaning that no matter what language you read or speak, they should pretty much always mean the same thing. Because icons are so widely used, there's a pretty good chance that you'll need them in your designs at some point. Figma will let you add icons via a plugin or via the community, or you can even source them in vector and web font files and import them directly into your Figma design canvas. You'll probably need your icons to be uniform in size to create a consistent look and feel. You may also need multiple sizes for different use cases. You may want variants in color, black and white for example, or you may finally want variants in style from outlines to solid. If you've seen any of my previous videos, then you've seen the power of component variants in design systems. And we're going to take the same approach here for icons. All your icons will be in a single location where you can set up sizes, colors, any other variants you can think of, publish that design system, and then that icon set becomes available to all your designs. There are a few ways we can source icons. You can search the internet for icon sets and import them directly into Figma as either vectors or a font file. You can also search Figma's community for user-submitted icon sets that you can pull directly into your design system. Or you can even use one of the plugins that Figma offers. I've used all of these at some point over the years. The first is Material Icons, and they're brought to you by Google. Google's icon set, or symbols as they call them, have been around for a while. You're probably quite familiar with them because they're in places like Google Chrome and the Android operating system. There are currently 2,500 icons or symbols available in this set, and they're downloadable for free. They come in a range of styles including outline, solid, and sharp. Material icons, like I mentioned, are open source, so that means you have nothing to pay, which is always good. The set is available as a Figma plugin via the Figma Community, or you can download them directly from the Material Design website. The second option on the list is Ionicons. Ionicons is a really solid choice with some great options available. There are about 1,300 icons in this set, and again, available for free. They even offer logos for big name companies such as Twitter and Facebook. These icons are again available as a plugin via the Figma Community or downloadable directly from their website in a designer pack that they offer. The third one on the list is Font Awesome. Font Awesome has been around a long time now, initially released in March 2012. The price ranges from $99 a year for a Pro license to $499 for a Pro Max license. In the paid-for options for Font Awesome, you get some really nice options with different variants from thin to outlined to duotone. This set, again, is available as a plugin via the community or downloadable in SVGs. How do we use the icons we've sourced? As you can see, there are loads of options for you to play around with, and most can be used without any cost. But what use are all of these lovely shiny icons if you can't use them in your designs? There's none. There's no use. They're useless. So to make them useful, let's run through the options we have to add them to your design system so you can choose a method that works best for you. Option 1, install the Material Icon set via the Figma plugin. So back in our design system, we'll create a new page and call it Iconography. I'll start by importing some icons using the Material Icons plugin. If I click the plugin's icon and search for Material, you'll see Google's official plugin appear. Run that. You'll now have access to the huge library of icons that Google offers for free. You can search through these to find exactly what you want. Simply click the icon you're after and it will get added to your design. So there are a few pros to this approach. You get complete control over your library, which means you can personalize it fully to exactly what you need. You can easily choose what type of icons you want, so whether they're outlined or rounded or sharp, and you can set sizes. So it's super simple and super customizable. There are a couple of cons to the plugin approach. One, it's quite slow. You have to manually choose and add each icon one by one. You'll also have to manually set sizes and variants for each of those icons. So having said that, option 2, installing material icons via the Figma Community. If you search the Figma Community for icon sets, you'll find loads. There are official icon sets from the original creators and custom sets from community contributors, so you have a wide range to choose from. For my design system, I'm going to use the material icon set again, so I'll jump into the Figma Community and search for material icons. Once you've found that, you can duplicate the file, which will bring a copy into your Figma workspace. You can then literally copy and paste these over into your own design system. The pros of this approach are that they are ready-made. They're good to go immediately. Another pro is that there are a huge range, tons, more than you could ever use. And this leads us on to the cons. There are so many, more than you could probably ever use. And having this many means that it can be quite hard to navigate, especially if you import them all at once. And because they're predefined, they're less customizable. Not customizable, just more difficult to customize. And that leads us on to option number 3. Install via a downloaded icon set. For this method of adding icons to your design system, you'll need to source them from an internet search. I mentioned a few sources earlier in the video, or if you had some custom icons created, the process is the same. So back in the design system, you need to bring in your downloaded icon set. So we preferably want them in a vector-based format like SVG. This is because a vector-based image can be resized from tiny to humongous without losing any image quality, which is perfect for icons. So find your downloaded icons. I've got a few from the material icon set here. Select them all and drag them directly into the canvas in Figma. Boom, there they are. The pros of this approach are they're super simple to import because they're in an SVG format. The cons of this approach? Sometimes when you drag and drop SVGs into a design file, the containers that they're sitting in can be a bit finicky, which makes it really annoying when you're trying to resize them. The other con to this is if there are a ton of icons and you try and import them, it can make Figma freak out a bit. So we're finally getting to the good stuff, creating a component set from the imported icons you just brought in. So you now know a few ways you can get icons into your design system, but they're still not ready to use across your designs yet. We need to convert them into components and then component sets with variants so we can then publish that and send them out to all our design files. I personally like to use a plugin when I'm bringing icons into my design system. It lets me add them one by one to make sure that I really do need them. It also gives me more control, more flexibility, and more consistency with the icons I choose. So let's jump back into Figma and set up the icons we imported and convert them so they're ready to use across all your designs. So the first thing we need to do is jump into the plugin section and search for material icons. Google created this plugin, so it's well maintained and usually up to date. Now I need to search for the icons I want to use in my designs. These are what I will start with, but I can easily add to them in the future if I need to. So I'll search now and start adding these in. I like a fairly light icon with an outline style, so I'll set the weight to 200 and leave fill as off. Cool. Now we need to think about what sort of styles and variants we want for the icons. Firstly, I want a couple of sizes. The originals we added are 24 by 24 pixels. I want a set that's 48 by 48 pixels too, for when I need a slightly larger version. Let's duplicate this set and resize them all at once in the Properties panel. Make sure the Constrain Proportions option is selected and change the size to 48. Great, so we have our two sizes. Let's convert them into individual components. Select them all and click up here and select multiple components. Great, now each one of these icons is a single component and you can start using them in your designs. But this can be hard to navigate when you're trying to find a specific icon, as each icon will appear as a separate asset in your list. So we want to be able to have a single component in our designs that we can modify using variants. So select both sizes of the icons and click the Combine as Variants button. Now all of our icons are in a single component set. Let's rename this component set to Icon. If you search your assets now, all you have to do is type Icon and the component set will appear. If we select our component set, you'll notice that there's a warning message that some variants have the same value applied. This is because we made a duplicate of our 24 pixel icons to create our 48 pixel version. This means they have the same names, but no drama, this is easy to fix. Select your icon component set and let's rename property 1 to type, so we know this variant changes what type of icon it is. Next, let's add a new variant and call it size. Here we can add what size the icon is. I'll select all of the 24 pixel icons and change the variant to 24 pixels. Next, I'll select the 48 pixel icons and update those too. You'll notice that the warning message has disappeared, so the component set is ready to use. Let's test it out. Drag your new icon component into your design from your Assets tab. You'll see that you have options for size and type and can change the icon quickly and easily depending on what you're after. You can then potentially nest this component inside other components like buttons and cards, so you can quickly update icons across a huge range of components and layouts. You can easily expand the scope of what your icon sets can do by adding more variants. For example, you might want a tiny icon at just 12 pixels, or different colors such as white and black. You may want to add other styles such as solid or sharp. You can also easily import a set from the Figma community and not have to worry about setting any of this up yourself. This is a great option if you just want to get a predefined icon set into your design system quickly. I personally prefer a more tailored approach as I find this easier to manage, but it's entirely up to you. Having a good selection of icons will improve the usability and aesthetics of all your designs going forward, and they're a great tool to have in your arsenal. If you want to continue building out your design system with things like buttons, typography, colors, then check out this playlist, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.